Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. Okay sweeties, before we go into the video, let me just quickly tell you who I am if you're new here, because I am so glad that you're here and I want you to join into my kingdom because there's so much more room for all of you. You can be feeling comfortable and everything. It is so cool to have you here. So I'm Leorah, I'm old enough. Let's put it that way. I'm a makeup artist and I'm a stylist. I'm very much into colorful makeup and colorful styling. And if you're up for that kind of a content, mostly makeup, tiny little bit of lifestyle, feel free to join because that would be awesome. Also, follow me on my social media because there you will get to see all the looks that I'm not filming, the flat lace and the swatches. Leorah Cosmetics Instagram is the place to go. Okay, sweeties, now let's go into this. So this is the palette that we're talking about today, the VIP exclusive palette from Arttitude Cosmetics. Arttitude Cosmetics is a UK-based brand, and I ordered this. Was there a sale? Usually I buy my stuff on sale. I don't even know. Maybe not, maybe yes. I don't remember anymore. I ordered this in December. This is the last palette that they came out with, the most recent palette, I should say. Last palette, God forbid, you know, it should not be the last palette. Okay, this is the most recent palette that she came out with. She has, I believe, one more palette that is a very colorful palette, and that was, I believe, the Color Splash palette. And ever since that palette dropped, I've been following this brand with super high interest. Also, I have to say the vibe of this brand and also the vibe of the owner she's just so sweet and so nice and kind of also humble and just really kind, you know, and that is really nice. So anyway, let me show you the palette. Let me show you first the outer packaging. This is how it looks. So this is 100% vegan and it is a cruelty-free brand, to say, and this is the inside of the palette. Okay, let me bring this up a little bit closer. Okay, so now you have seen the color scheme that we're working with here. I did 3 looks. This is the third one. The other ones I will show you in just a second. So how did I decide to buy this palette? Because usually I would probably go for the more colorful one, while this is also kind of colorful, you know, but the other one, the Color Splash palette, is of course way more colorful than this one. So I actually let my kids decide, and they said, Mom, this is not even a question. You are a VIP and you should have the VIP palette. So this is what I went for, and I'm kind of glad that I did, because really I have a lot of colorful palettes, like, anyway, you know, so that's why it's kind of cute to have this one. Also, I think that it also makes sense to have the most recent one, you know, because it's sort of still in the mind of the people of the new makeup releases and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense to feature this one, I think, and it is a very beautiful palette. So let me just tell you how this thing goes here, because if you're new, then you maybe don't know. So that was the intro. You're welcome. Okay, besides that, you're going to see in pictures in just a second the 2 looks that I have done already with this palette. Afterwards, I'm going to create this look here on camera. After that, you will see the swatches. And then we're going to meet here again for the review part of this video. So maybe let's just go into it, because why not? It's going to be fun. So I'll be back here with you in just a second for the review part. Good morning. It's too early, but I'm here. It's Friday morning for me when I'm filming this. I need to go and see my in-laws in the evening, so I thought we're going to do something red on my eyes. You know? Alright, so let's do that. Of course, you know, we're working with the VIP exclusive palette from Arttitude Cosmetics, and I have now, this is of course my 3rd look, so I'm pretty sure I have used almost every single shade in this palette by now. Almost. I definitely need to know how this one works, the red carpet shade. I also have not used the shade Queen. Like, seriously, how can I not? Right? So that is that. I think maybe this one I haven't used. Maybe I'm gonna do this on the lower lash line. We shall see. But for now, I want to go in with the red carpet and just see how that one works. This one, honestly, I haven't used yet. I'm not sure if I will. By now, I have used most of the shades, and that is basically what matters for a review, right? So let us just go in. I honestly want to use one of my new brushes, and that is from Wet n Wild. And I got this sent by Bridget, who is one of my friends and subscribers here. And this is actually so funny because they put like a indentation on the brush so you know where to put your finger. Like, why? Like, otherwise where would I hold it? I wouldn't be able to figure out how to hold a brush, I guess. But this is so, like, really. Anyway, yeah, but let's do that. Let's go in to the shade Red Carpet, which is the red that I just showed you. And of course, I almost forgot to zoom you in because, wow, I don't know if I'll ever figure this out. All right, so Red Carpet, I'm coming. Okay, let's just pull this through the crease, and I'm on purpose not like pushing it on like crazy, but I want to build it up because of course I'm going to go in without a transition shade, so I want to see how that goes. As long as it's buildable, you know, and I think you can see that it's already building nicely, I'm good, you know. Because I really honestly don't like it too much if the shade goes on with a boom and then I have the hardest time to blend it out. I don't think that is, if that would be the case, that would be a very, let's say, beginner friendly formula, you know, and also not very time friendly because that takes a long time if you want to do a good job with it. So anyway, I just use also another brush to just get the product here into the inner corner a little bit. And then I'm just gonna keep building up the shade. Okay, I think this already starts to look really good. I'm gonna go in to my Bone Color Matte and I'm just going to, as always, drag this here over the edge, and then I'll be probably blending a little bit longer because that's just my daily yoga routine. Blending. Anyway, so that is always what I do, as you all know probably, and that always helps me really well to blend out the shades towards the top, so it's just a little bit more smooth. If I would have like a super light shade to blend out with now, I would probably use that at least a little bit, but if you don't, then that is a very nice way to do it, you know. So let's just push on more product. I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just do it. And I actually think this is a nice shade. It is, do I see Red Carpet in it? Maybe. I'll have to see how it looks in the end. I haven't seen a Red Carpet in person. There is really no VIP, how does one say that, community here where I live, at least not anything that I identify with. I don't know, there might be, I might be wrong, you know, but anyway, I always feel Red Carpet is more striking, but I could be completely wrong, and maybe that would also be not so good because then people would be scared to use it on their eyes, you know, so so that is that. But I think the whole execution in this palette is actually really good, and I'm going to talk about that also then of course in the review part. But anyway, so now for now we're just blending. Okay, so I think this is already pretty good. I think I might blend a little bit longer because that's just what I do. Yeah, but I think overall this looks already really good. And what I want to do now is, when I was just blending and not talking, I was thinking maybe I should go, what should I do? I'm gonna stick with the plan. I'm gonna stick with the plan because I was debating for a second if I should now put this deeper in the crease, the shade Boss, but I remembered that I have actually used this already. So in my first look, I used this one and also this one to deepen up this one. So I think I'm just gonna go with my original plan and put Queen on my lid and then top it off with Muggle. That sounds like Harry Potter, right? Muggle. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just being silly. Okay, so let us just put on the shade Queen, which is a nice, it looks like a nice neutral brown, which I love. So let's just put that on the left and on the right basically of the lid. And then in the middle, kinda, I want to have a hint of muggle. I don't know how to say this. This is gonna give me a lot of joy. Okay, so anyway, let's just do that. And I'm going in without a sprayed brush or anything. So I think you can see that this applies super, super well, and it also picks up super nice on the brush, which I really, really love. I love these formulas that don't give me trouble, you know? There are, not that it's trouble, it's makeup, like whatever, you know? But what I really, really like in shimmers is when they pick up nicely without being problematic. I don't know if it's the right word, I really don't know. But without being, you know, sometimes they just swipe around in the pan, but nothing picks up on the brush. You know those shades? That is annoying, you know? It's annoying. I don't get those shades, you know? And I actually do have quite a few of those from different brands. So it's not the end of the world. I always make it work, but it's not my favorite, let's put it that way. Okay, so that is basically what I'm doing. I'm also going to probably put that on a little bit more with my finger, because honestly this looks much more gentle than I thought it would. I thought the whole look would be more striking, and like this, I don't think I'm going to impress my in-laws. They're used to much worse. Okay, but anyway, let us go in with the shade Mogul. Mogul. How does one say that? I really don't know. So this is more like a rose gold, and I don't know, one can't really see much of a difference now. Maybe a tiny little bit of a highlight here, but let me just put the other shade on with my fingers and see if that helps a little bit. Worst case, maybe I'm going to also pull in one of the darker mattes to help a little bit. Does that help a little bit? I think it does a little bit. So let's just push this in also on the inside here. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is, I think I need more depth in this look, because this is a bit too flat for my liking, you know? So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go in with that shade Boss, the one that I just spoke about, this one here. And I don't know, I need a different brush. So let's, which brush should I use? Sometimes it's also the brushes, you know, let's not forget that. I just really don't know which one to use. I'm a bit torn. Okay, so let's just go in with the shade Boss and just put that here a little bit. Sort of, not even to make a big splash or anything, just to deepen up at least the outer edge maybe a little bit. Just to sort of help this dark brown shade to be a little bit darker, you know? Maybe I went wrong, maybe I just went wrong with my thoughts here about this look. This is too gentle for what I had planned. But anyway, so that's what it is. I'm just sort of deepening up this, the Queen shade a little bit with the shade Boss. That is kind of cool, you know? Queen and Boss. That's like my husband and I, because he used to be my boss when I was still working for him. And I was born the Queen, so that's kind of cool. I'm sort of combining, topping off the Queen with the Boss. That's like, yeah, that's basically the story of my marriage. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm doing here, and sort of also smudging it a bit into the crease. Something like that. Now, unfortunately, we probably lost a bit of the effect of the shade Queen, but it just is what it is. Okay, let me just also go in again with the red carpet and sort of, I don't know, try to deepen up the look a tiny little bit more here around the crease area. And that is probably going to be the look. So this shade is definitely buildable. For my personal preference, it could have been like a real crazy red, you know? But that is me, you know? I think like this, it is way more suitable for a broader audience. And I'm definitely not the, I don't know, the perfect representative of how everybody likes everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, they blend super, super well into each other. And also here, when I see how it all goes together in the crease, I think this looks really, really nice. So what I'm going to do now, still, I'm going to, this area I'm still going to blend, don't worry. I'm going to go into the shade, just because I want to, into the shade Mogul. Mogul. I really don't know. I should have looked this up. And I'm going to put that here in the middle again, and I'm sort of just dabbing out the edges or the sides a little bit. So I'm running out of fingers. Wait. I actually saw the other day a video by my friend Steph, who also has, of course, a YouTube channel. Otherwise I wouldn't have seen a video, and I'm gonna link her. I hope I don't forget, please. I'm going to link her in the description box. Check out her channel. She's so sweet, and she's so like sweet to me, but she's also in general like really, really amazing. I love her accent. It's so charming. Anyway, so that is that. I'm going to try to blend this out a little bit more, but I think like overall this is what the look's gonna be. So I'm going to just recreate this on the other side, and then of course, as always, I'm gonna come back once that part of my face is done. I'm gonna come back and recreate whatever is gonna come on the lower lash line and under. That's what we're gonna do together in just a second. Okay, sweeties, this is how it looks, the glorious look. Okay, I want to even do today something that I usually never do, and that is highlighting my brow bone. Should I? I think I want to. Okay, so let us do that as part of whatever, all of that. Okay, so, and I'm going to use the shade Star for that, which is kind of a champagne-y shimmer shade. And this is the wrong brush for this. Wait, I need a smaller brush because this is going to be a super small area, of course. So I'm just going to put that here, kind of at the top point of my eyebrows. Something like that. Okay, and then I want to do something, of course, under my lower lash line. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to go in with the gold, which is the shade Royalty, which is the shade why my oldest son wanted me to buy the palette. Okay, so let us go in with that shade, and I think I'm going to deepen it up afterwards with the shade VIP. So we shall see. I'm going to show you in just a second. So let's put on the shade Royalty, which is a very, very nice gold. It's not like a super bright gold, but a very, very true to color gold, if that makes sense. Like, this is a real gold, you know? Because sometimes there are golds that are a little bit more bright, which is, I don't know if that is even real. Like, for example, the gold in the Native palette from XO Beauty that I just featured some time back, that is a very, very beautiful gold. It's a very bright gold, but I don't think that gold in reality necessarily looks like that, unless maybe you have it from a jeweler and like super polished or something. This, I think, is more how real gold looks in my life, you know? So that is that. Anyway, so I think it's gonna be something like this, and I don't even need to like blend this out in a super crazy manner because it sort of melts into my skin now, because I've, of course, a bit of a like a warm golden undertone in my skin. Okay, so that is that, and now I'm just gonna switch brushes, and I'm going to what brush? Maybe this one. And I'm gonna go into the shade VIP, which was basically the main feature of the first look that I did. It's like a fuchsia kind of a shade, which is so good. Anyway, and I'm going to put that on a flat brush, and I'm going to push that here under the purple, which is on my waterline. So I don't know, should I go all the way or just here? Maybe just here. Okay, now again, of course, with the shade Royalty, the golden one, and I'm just going to sort of blend it all together. I guess in a small space like this, it doesn't really show up that this is a fuchsia. I don't know if it does, but anyway, it is a super small space, and of course in the first look that you saw already, you saw that this shade was beautiful. It was super vibrant. Okay, now inner corner, I think, what am I gonna do? I think I'm going to go for, I have no idea. Should I go for a matte? I could go for a matte, but I kind of don't want to. You know what? I'm just gonna go for, that is so standard of me, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go for the shade Star, the one that I also used as my brow bone highlight. I think I used this shade in each look as an inner corner highlight because it's beautiful, you know? Something like that, you know? I think what would also look really nice is combining those peachy corally shades with this one or with this one. That could be really beautiful. Yeah, so anyway, not today. Not today. So that is basically, I think, what the look is going to be. I'm going to do that, of course, also on the other side. I'm going to finish my face, and in just a second I'll be back here with the arm swatches, and after that, of course, as always, we're going to have the review part of this palette, so stay tuned, it's coming right up. Okay, sweeties, here we are, of course, with the swatches that you just saw, and I have to say, these swatched good. I had to build them up a little bit, but it is still on an unprepared arm. Okay, there's nothing on my arm, just the swatches, but I went in with each color a little bit to build it up. Now that also brings me to the formula. I actually think that the formula is good, especially of the shimmers. I love the shimmer formula. It is spectacular. All of them worked absolutely beautiful. The matte formula is a little bit more on the dry side, which is personally maybe not my super most favorite formula, but it is good, it's workable, it is buildable, it is blendable, and that is a very beginner friendly formula. You know, it is a good thing. It's maybe not my 100% most favorite formula, to be completely honest, okay, but it worked well, and I think you also saw in the other looks that I created that the looks came out super nice. And the thing is also in this palette that I have to show you. Let's talk about this. That there is so much in this palette that it is almost unreal how much is in there in 15 shades. You know, because you do have the corals, you do have the whole brown and gold color scheme, well, including also the champagne. Then you have these soft pinks, and also, of course, this pink is so beautiful. Also, this the mogul shade is spectacular. If you want to see this here on the swatch, it is this one. It is this beautiful rose gold, and also, of course, this pink. I think I used this in my first look that I did. I should have used it on a bigger surface though, because this is spectacular. Really beautiful. Okay, so you have those corals. You have then, of course, also these dark mauve shades, never know how to pronounce this, and then you of course have the red and and of course the fuchsia. So there is so much you can do with this palette, with this color scheme, that it is kind of really insane when you think about it, you know, because when you look at it, it is a very cohesive palette. It sort of flows into each other in a very good way, and you don't even maybe realize how much you're getting in this palette, which is kind of really crazy. Yeah, but I have to say that definitely the shimmer formula is outstanding, definitely. Now, were there any shades that I didn't like so much? I think I would go for the red. That I didn't like too much. It was buildable, it was okay, but I think overall that was my least favorite shade. The only shade that I haven't used on my eye is this one, but besides that I have used everything else. This one I thought was super spectacular. In my first look I was really impressed. Like really also this one, all of them really, it was just the red, and unfortunately that was the one that I used today. But I also have to say that it is actually true to color the way it came on. It was just that maybe it was my expectation that I thought I would get like a super, super bright red. And I don't even know why I was thinking that, because this is exactly how it looks on my eye, you know? Like, it's not like this is super, super bright and then it didn't perform well on my eye. It was just my expectation, and that is like, it threw me off a tiny little bit, and I kind of have to apologize because I should be more professional than that, but I'm just human too, you know? So I think it worked well. I think it worked well. It was just not my favorite shade. The other ones I think worked better for me personally. So besides that, again, I think one gets here a lot. The execution is super, super well done. Also, the packaging and the cohesiveness of the whole release, VIP, the whole theme, and then of course the shade names, you know, famous, executive, boss, queen, royalty, VIP, monarch, red carpet, influencer, celebrity, all of these things, you know, it's kind of VIP. So really, really well done. Also the gold print on the black is just super, super classy. Really, really liking it. There is also here an explanation of the palette, and I think, let me just look at the sleeve where the sorry where the ingredients are. Yeah, the ingredients are here on the outside sleeve. Okay, so the sleeve looks exactly like the palette. Forgot to show you. Okay, so anyway, I think this was actually really, really nice. I'm super, super glad that I got to try this brand. I already said that the blendability and the buildability was absolutely there. I also have to point out that there was no staining. There was, in my first look with where I used this shade, there was a tiny hint, but like I would have expected way more from a shade like this, you know? It was just a tiny, tiny little hint, and I only saw it after I took my makeup because I know where to look. I don't think anyone else would see it if I wouldn't point it out. You know what I mean? This is how small it was. So that is really, really incredible. Now, of course, with this look, I don't know yet because I hadn't tried this shade yet. So I don't know, but still, so far I have had no staining, nothing. Yeah, and blendability, I already said. Creasing, there was no creasing. I should buy, sweeties, I should zoom you in. I don't know what's going on. So anyway, maybe even a little bit closer so you can see the look of today. So this is how the look turned out, and of course you also saw me backing up this brown shimmer a little bit with this. I'm gonna show you again so we know what we're talking about, because that is really something that you can always do. Always, because that also makes palettes more versatile, because you can mix shades, you can top them off with each other, you know. This is what I did in the palette. I used this one first, and then I just felt that it was not dark enough for what I had envisioned, and then I just put this one a little bit on top. You still have the shimmery effect of it. It doesn't go away, you know, unless you, I don't know, pack it on like a meter thick, you know, which it's not likely, but you see that it still has the shimmery effect, which is really, really nice, but it is just a tiny little bit darker, a hint of it, and that is exactly what I needed, because I wanted this Mogul shade still getting a kick out of this, this shade to just stand out a tiny little bit more. I could have prevented the whole thing to go into, like I could have gone into this, and then instead of using this, I could have used this one from the get-go, or maybe this one, but I just really wanted to just say as many times as possible in this video this shade name. That was my intention. Okay, so anyway, this is how it looks, and would I recommend this? Absolutely. I do believe that this is absolutely a beautiful formula, especially for beginners, and that is something that I so like when I can recommend this, because a lot of people come to my channel and ask me, because they are new to colors, they are new to this world, and they ask me, what do you recommend if you want to try colors, and if you're new to makeup in general, you know, sweeties, go for a friendly formula that gives you a friendly formula, that sounds a beginner friendly formula, you know. Go for something like this, because this is going to be really, really easy to work with for you, because if you go in with something that is super, super, I don't know, stark, and I don't know how to explain this. You will not be able to handle it. You will not be able to handle it if you're just getting into it. For formulas like that, like these super, super high pigmented formulas, that is not even good. You know, even for me, it takes a lot of patience to work with these kinds of formulas. While it is amazing in a way, but it takes a lot of patience to work with them and a lot of experience to make looks like this actually look professional, you know, and that is kind of what I'm trying to do here, because it's kind of my job. So that's why I think that this formula is a very, very solid, good formula, and very, very beginner friendly on top of it, which makes it just awesome. So that is what I want to say. Plus, I do believe that small indie brands do deserve our support above all the other big established brands. These are the ones that need our help and our support, and that is what I'm doing here, and that is why I'm featuring these brands, and that is also why I'm buying from these brands, because I want to be the support of this little community of the small indie brands. And you know, doesn't mean that I'll never feature anything else, but this is where my heart is, definitely, you know. And especially also when brand owners are just super, super nice, because they are also small brands that just ignore us small YouTubers, you know, because we're basically nothing for a lot of people. But sweeties, we do have a voice and we do have some influence, and I do believe it is very, very smart of brand owners to be nice to us, you know. And I have to say that the owner of Arttitude Cosmetics is a real, real sweetheart, amazing, just really, really nice, and that is very good. I like that. Anyway, so sweeties, that was it for today. I hope you did enjoy this, and of course, if you have any questions or comments, then please leave them in the comment section down below. Definitely check out Arttitude Cosmetics, because she has more than those two palettes. She has also other things, so please don't forget to check out that brand and show your support if you like something, you know, that would be great. And besides that, of course, also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that yet. That would be awesome. Thank you so much. Of course, you will find everything that I'm wearing on my face, and also my discount codes with the different brands, and also all my links to my social media platforms. You will find everything in the description box down below, and I shall see you here next time for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.